I really like it how we are trying our best to save our girl Dehya and Mihoyo just doesn't care about her. Hello everyone, welcome to my complete Dehya discussion video. In this video, I'm gonna talk about everything there is to know about Dehya, how her kit works, her pros, her cons, her synergies with other characters, and so much more. So keep watching till the end so that you don't miss out on any crucial information. Timestamps, of course, will be in the description for your convenience. Let's start. Before we dive deep into her kit and her playstyle, let us talk about Dehya first. Dehya is a character who has been getting a lot of opinions on and has been said the worst 5-star character. Well, as of now, I'm gonna sort of 50-50 kinda agree on that, since there aren't that many characters that she can work with. But maybe in the future there might be an artifact set that suits her playstyle, or even proper supports that work with Dehya. We can't do anything but just hope for it. Design wise, she is literally better than 90% of the characters in game. But due to her lack of synergies with many characters, people have been saying her that she isn't that much of a good character. Dehya does not bring game-changing value to your account, and if you haven't 36-starred the Abyss, I recommend you get some of the necessary characters first. Those necessary characters might include someone like a Kazuha, Xiangling, Raiden. Try to get them first and utilize your primogems efficiently. Furthermore, she will be added to the standard banner, so you can always get her by losing a 50-50. Now let us talk about her roles and where she fits in a team comp. Dehya is an attack and passively HP scaling on-field Pyro burst DPS with 2 special abilities. One includes the damage mitigation, second one includes the coordinated attack, just like Albedo. Now let us talk about her abilities. Normal attack. She is a Claymore character performing a 4-hit combo, which are surprisingly very slow. And also, apart from the animations being slow, she has the lowest multipliers on her normal attack among Claymore units. This makes a C6 Bennet with a Dehya not an impressive choice. Elemental skill. On tap, it will do area of effect, pyro damage, and make something called a Fiery Sanctum. This Fiery Sanctum has a special trait. This Fiery Sanctum would do a coordinated attack every 2.5 seconds and generate 1 pyro particle for Dehya. Apart from that, any active character inside this field would have their resistance to interruption increased, and if that active character takes any damage, a portion of the damage would be mitigated and flown to Dehya. Okay, and Dehya will take that portion of the damage over 10 seconds, off field or even on field. The second tap will allow you to do something called the ranging flame damage and allows you to reposition the Fiery Sanctum, and it would inherit the new remaining duration of the Fiery Sanctum. Just note that doing the elemental skill again will not refresh the duration. This field is on a 12-second duration with a 20-second cooldown, leaving an average of 4 to 5 procs of the coordinated attack. Now, if you press her elemental skill and after 5 seconds do the second tap, the refreshed duration will be 7 seconds. If you press her elemental skill and after 5 seconds press her elemental skill again to reposition the Fiery Sanctum, the duration will not be refreshed, but 7 seconds would be inherited from the first Fiery Sanctum. Elemental Burst. On cast, she will enter a special state, throwing away her Claymore that she wields, and she will retrieve any Fiery Sanctum on field. And she will do a 9 to 10 single hit damage over a 4-second duration, which is the Flame Main's fist damage. After the duration ends, she will replace the Fiery Sanctum with the remaining duration and do a incineration dive damage. The damage that she does in her elemental burst is called burst damage and not normal attack. So she cannot proc Xingqiu, Yelan, or even Beidou's off-field support capabilities. A 4-second duration burst with a 18-second cooldown, 70 energy cost. This makes her a energy hungry character. So try to prioritize energy recharge. Ascension 1 passive. On the second tap of her elemental skill or her burst, she will take 60% less damage from mitigation. This can be procced every 2 seconds. This is a first half of the passive. The second half of the passive, on the first tap of her elemental skill, she will give increased resistance to interruption in the first 9 seconds of her elemental skill's duration. This can be procced every 18 seconds. This increased resistance to interruption makes pairing her with a charge shot Ganyu a good option if you don't have a Xiangling. But naturally, Xiangling is the better and superior option. Ascension 4 passive. When her HP is below 40%, she will restore 20% of her max HP and then 6% more for 2 seconds for the next 10 seconds. This effect can be triggered once every 20 seconds. Talking about talent priority, mainly want to level up your elemental burst and then your elemental skill and leave the normal attack at level 1 as she has very low multipliers. Now let us talk about Dehya's gameplay. Her burst will take away the field that she places with her elemental skill. So the Ascension 1's second half, that is the resistance to interruption, is not there for Dehya. And the particle generation isn't also available because her field is gone. So this makes her to stay on field for a little longer time to gain particle or just rely on teammates like Bennet or even a Favonious weapon for particles. Talking about Burgeon, she isn't the best character in a Burgeon comp as well, because her elemental skill will do a coordinated attack every 2.5 seconds as compared to someone like Toma that does a coordinated attack every 1 second. 2.5 seconds is quite slow, but you could also argue that if I could just blow up all the 6 cores present on field at the same time, that would be a good thing as well, correct? No. If you did blow up all the 6 cores on field at the same time, only 2 of the cores will do damage to any enemy at one given time. So this is the place where Dehya cannot shine that well because of someone called Toma that can do a coordinated attack every 1 second. Both of her passive, that is the Ascension passive 1 and the Ascension passive 4, are some form of recovery based or support based. So she needs characters like Mona, Kazuha, Bennet to buff her attack and her damage a lot. The main way you can play her for now is by using her elemental skill for mitigation and a burst quick swap. That way you can maximize her kit. Although Burgeon is an option to use Dehya, but there is a superior option like Toma. So damage mitigation and burst quick swap are the only roles available for her. Normal attack Dehya with C6 Bennet is also usable to spam normal attacks, but her multipliers on her normal attack are very low. So her playstyle becomes something like a tank quick swap burst DPS or something similar to that. For now, just try to play her with a damage mitigation and her burst quick swap abilities. Weapons. Talking about weapons, we have one thing in mind, that her ascension stat is HP percent. This makes balancing crit rate and crit damage a little bit harder. Regardless, here are some options that you can run on Dehya. 5-star weapon choices would include the Beacon of Reed C, her best in slot, giving her a total of 40% attack and 32% max HP on certain conditions. Apart from the Beacon of Reed C, something like the Red Hornstone Thresher is also a good option for the massive crit damage that it can provide you with. But keep in mind that the passive is completely useless. If you're lacking on raw attack, something like the Wolf's Gravestone and the Unforged is a good option, as both of them will provide you with the raw attack. If you're looking for a 4-star weapon choice, you can run the Luxurious Sea Lord, a 2.1 event exclusive weapon. It would provide you with the raw attack and burst damage bonus. For the gacha weapons, we have a Akumaru, which would improve her burst damage, but the only drawback of using this weapon is that you need high refinements for it. If you have a Serpent Spine lying around, you can run that as well if you want to balance crit. But the passive of Serpent Spine again is useless. The Black Cliff is a good option for the crit damage that it would provide you, and a little bit of attack through the passive. Energy recharge weapon choices would include something like the Inazuma's craftable weapon and the FAVONIOUS weapon. Both of them are good options for energy recharge. For a tank focused build, we have only 2 options in the entire game. 2 HP claymores, that is one the Bell and one the Ferris Shadow, which is a 3-star weapon. Both of them are somewhat free to play friendly. And the Prototype Archaic, it is a decent weapon that you can run if you want some attack stats, and since it is craftable, it is also free to play friendly. Now, if you want to run Dehya in a Persian comp, you can run a weapon that has Elemental Mastery. This can include the Mailed Flower, the 3.5 event exclusive weapon, or the Rain Slasher, and the Makaira Aquamarine. Both of them would give you Elemental Mastery. We also have a 3-star weapon choice that can give you Elemental Mastery, that is the Blood Tainted Greatsword. It has 1 artifact worth of Elemental Mastery, and it is a Burgeon focused related weapon. Artifacts. Well, if you want to build Dehya, there are many ways where you can build her, but you have to first know which way you want to build Dehya. If you want to build her as a burst DPS, there is another set. If you want to build her as a wave Dehya, there is another set. In a mono pyro comp, there is another set. A tank focus, there is another set. So just know what type of Dehya you're trying to build. For a burst DPS Dehya, just run the 4-piece emblem. Prioritize energy recharge substats over elemental mastery and a little bit of HP to gain maximum damage off of the emblem set. Alternatively, for a vape DPS Dehya, you can run something like the Crimson Witch of Flame for more reaction damage. If you're running Dehya in a mono pyro comp, in a mono pyro comp where the pyro aura is always on the enemy, something like the 4-piece Lava Walker is a good set. Now, DPS aside, if you're trying to build a tank focused Dehya, the 4-piece Tenacity of the Millilith is a good option. It would give your teammates attack and shield strength. Burgeon focused Dehya would include something like the 4-piece Wanderer, 4-piece Gilded, or 4-piece Flower of Paradise Lost. All of them are viable set if you're going to build a Burgeon Dehya with negligible difference. If you don't have any of the 2-piece sets that I mentioned, try mix and matching 2-piece sets that can give you attack or energy recharge or HP or even burst damage bonus. Artifact main stats. Now, for a DPS Dehya, timepiece can be an attack one, elemental mastery, or even energy recharge. The goblet is pyro damage and the circlet is crit. A attack percent timepiece would be for a general DPS, elemental mastery for a damage per screenshot vape build, and energy recharge generally if you're just lacking energy recharge. For a Burgeon Dehya, a triple elemental mastery is a good option. If you're building a tank Dehya and using a Favonious weapon, that is a Favonious Greatsword, try aiming for crit substats, because if you want to proc the passive of Favonious Greatsword, you need a little bit of crit on her. The amount of energy recharge that you need to build on her would vary from team to team. Okay, a 140 to 150 with a Favonious teammate or a battery is a good range. Again, this can be a higher value or even a lower value of energy recharge depending upon the teammate. Just try to aim for 140 to 150 or even 160. Okay, just try the team comp and just see how much energy recharge that team needs. Constellation. For someone who is getting added to the standard banner, you can get many constellations for Dehya, and to be honest, her constellations are a good improvement to her play kit, and it won't fix the problems that she's facing a lot, but it can certainly improve it. Constellation 1. It would increase her max HP by 20% and give her additional damage to her elemental skill and burst, which again scales off of her max HP. It is a good bump to her elemental skill and burst damage. Constellation 2. When she recreates the fiery sanctum, its duration would be extended by 6 seconds. And if the active character takes damage in the field, the next coordinated attack would do more damage. Constellation 3. It is a plus 3 levels for your elemental burst. Constellation 4. When she hits the enemy with her burst, she will gain energy and max HP every 0.2 second. Again, a good constellation and improves her energy recharge problem. Constellation 5. It is a plus 3 levels for her elemental skill. Constellation 6. To be honest, a very good constellation. Her burst will gain 10% crit rate and additional burst crit damage and extended burst duration up to 60% burst crit damage and 2-second extended duration when her fist attack lands a crit on the enemy. A massive increase to her DPS output. Team comps. Team comps for Dehya are quite limited in my opinion, since she does not work with some of the characters in game. Regardless, here are some comps where she can shine in. The first comp that I'm gonna mention is the Mono Pyro comp, where Dehya is paired with Kazuha, Bennet, and Xiangling. Here, this is a raw Pyro DPS team, where Kazuha buffs all the Pyro characters, Dehya acts as the main DPS, Xiangling acts as a sub DPS whose attack is buffed by Bennet. The second comp that I'm gonna mention is the damage per screenshot comp. Here, Dehya is paired with Kazuha, Mona, and Bennet to buff her burst damage. I know this comp does include valuable supports like Kazuha, Mona, and Bennet, but we are trying our best for Dehya, okay? To utilize her mitigation ability and resistance to interruption that she provides you with, you can use Dehya with someone like a Ganyu in a comp that follows: Dehya, Ganyu, Bennet, and Nahida. This is a Ganyu Burn Melt comp. Dehya is a replacement for a shielding character like Xiangling, and Nahida and Bennet would keep the Pyro aura on the enemy. Ganyu does charge attack, taking advantage of Dehya's Ascension 1 passive second half, that is resistance to interruption. The third team comp that I'm going to mention is the Burgeon comp. This comp would include Dehya, C6 Bennet, a Hydro, and a Dendro. The Hydro and Dendro will create the cores. C6 Bennet gives Dehya the Pyro infusion, which she can use to proc Burgeon. This is a way where you can proc Burgeon if you don't want to rely on her elemental skill, okay? But it does require you to activate the Constellation 6 of Bennet, okay? So do it at your own risk. Well, that is all for this video. I hope I was able to clear all the queries regarding Dehya's kit and her playstyle, and whether you should pull for her or not. If you do have any queries regarding Dehya, please leave them in the comments down below. I'm trying to reply to each and every comment in the comment section. And if you think I missed anything in this guide, well, do leave it in the comments down below, and that would be helpful for other players as well. Also, for those who pulled for Sino, here is a guide for him as well. Go watch it. Here is where I show you how to maximize his damage and do over 100,000 damage per rotation. Sounds fun, right? You should go check it.